Alright, we're back, and today we're gonna be ranking biomes. Alright, so we got a great lineup here. Alright, we got the desert biome, we have the shrublands, we have the tropical rainforest, we have like the alpine, we got like a regular forest, we got like this colorful tundra, we have this grasslands, we have this savanna, we have this like Irish grasslands, like Scottish, we got a flooded wetlands, we have this like mountainous grasslands, we got, oh wait, this is our colorful tundra. This one's like a boreal forest or something. We got a Mediterranean forest. We have a mangrove. We have a badlands, the outback, the Arctic, Mount Everest, or like the mountains. We got a xeric basin, and we have the ocean. Alright, so starting off, so we're going to rank them in terms of survivability. Alright, so if my plane crash landed into these biomes, would I be safe? Alright, so the desert. Alright, we're going to put the desert in the F tier. Alright, hear me out. There is very little water. Alright, so I'm already out in like the first 3 days. And if I try and walk, it's so hot, I'm gonna get tired. I'm not escaping. And there's very little edible food. I mean, we got scorpions and stuff, but I'm not gonna want to eat that. Alright, so I might have to like find like a jerboa or something, but yeah, we're cooked. Alright, next we have the shrublands. We're gonna put the shrublands in the C tier, alright? There's a couple plants, there's a little vegetation, alright? Vegetation means there's some critters I can eat, alright? Water-wise, there's a little more water than the desert, alright? And, there's resources to build a shelter, alright? And, yeah, easy C tier. Alright, next we have the tropical rainforest. We're gonna put the rainforest in the A tier, alright? There's tons of plants and water and food and berries and stuff, but some of this stuff will try and kill you, which is not good. We don't want that stuff to kill us, like the animals like jaguars and poisonous berries. But there is some good stuff. If I know what I'm doing, I can survive in this jungle for years, if I'm capable. There's tons of rock and twigs. I can make tools and stuff and shelter. So yeah, if I know what I'm doing, easy survival in the rainforest. Alright, next we have this alpine. Like this, I forgot the vocab word. It's like some type of forest. We're going to put it in the A tier. Alright? We got trees. We got grass and stuff. We have solid ground. Not too hot. It might get a little chilly during nighttime though. And then, alright, we're going to move it down to B tier actually. It might get cold during nighttime. I see some fir trees and stuff. It might get cold during the nighttime. But, if I cover myself with like enough leaves and stuff, I can survive. Food-wise, there's critters in here. I expect there's like foxes and stuff. I can hunt and kill a fox. Shelter. I can make a shelter. There's plenty of sticks. We'd have to probably rely on rain for our water, which could be a little tricky. But if we store water, it'd be all right. Yeah, because I think, or I could try and find a lake or something. All right, next we have like your standard forest, and we're putting this in the S tier. All right, your average forest, you know, plenty of trees, plenty of critters, not a lot that's gonna kill you. Maybe some like garden snakes or something, but we're putting our average Midwest forest. All right, yeah, and we could definitely like. I bet I could find a lake or pond or river in the first like 6 hours of the plane crash. All right. So for that reason, we're putting your average forest in the S tier. All right. Next, we have this like colorful like grassland forest thingy. We're gonna put in the C tier. It looks painful to walk around in. Let's say my shoes get worn out or they get lost in the crash. This looks horrible to walk around and there's so many plants around and stuff. Just not what we want to see. Oh, now this is working. All right. Here's our desert photo. Our shrublands photo. We have our tropical rainforest photo. We have our alpine thingy photo. We got our regular forest photo. All right, now we're on to this. See, look. This looks horrible to walk around in. And there's a couple trees, but I feel like I'd have to walk forever to find something. I don't feel like water would be a problem, but it also does not look very warm. So in terms of warmness and food and water, we're gonna put no. Shelter and scenic enjoyment, that's good. But other than that, it's going in the C tier. All right, next up we have this like dry grasslands, all right? And the dry grasslands is going to go in the D tier, all right? Listen, it's a little hot. There's not many plants or animals. There is trees for shelter. But food and water, we're just not going to be able to find. Now, could I walk around in this for a couple days? Yeah, I could probably find a way out of this biome, unlike the desert where I'll just be walking till I die. But survivability, not looking high. So for that reason, we have it in the D tier. Next, we have the savannah. All right, they dropped me in the middle of the southern part of Africa-ish. Let's say they drop us in Madagascar. All right, we're gonna put that in the C tier. All right, listen. There's cool animals. That's a plus. But of those animals, a lot of them I might not be able to kill. And I constantly have to worry about like a lion or something attacking me, you know? Also, there's not a lot of water. I might need to find a watering hole, but then again, I might just be, drinking my water and a lion comes out of a bush and just kills me. So for that reason, we're putting the savannah in the C tier. All right, next we have like these Scottish like grasslands, like just these grasslands that go on forever. All right, we're going to put these in the A tier. All right, everything is perfect about this place except for shelter. All right, I know there's like bison and stuff walking around these maybe. Okay, well, not bison, but there's something roaming in these that I can eat that's not going to attack me. And there's probably like some berries and stuff somewhere. Listen, food's not going to be a problem if I'm comfortable and there's plenty of rain and drinking water and stuff. if I'm comfortable, I can go a while without the food. You know, food might be scarce, but we can time out our food intervals and stuff. So the only thing really is shelter. That's what's keeping this from the S tier. But also, I could find a ton of these rocks and just store them up, you know, the twigs, some grass. I could take the grass, dip it in water, and just stick it together and make it like a grass little dome, like teepee thingy. Alright, next we have these flooded wetlands. Alright, plenty of water, but there's also these birds. That's really great. You know, I could sneak up on these birds, get a quick snack. Once again, though, shelter is not looking too great. And the walkability of this land compared to this, it's a little more, my feet are gonna get wet and we're gonna get some like soldier's foot or whatever it's called. I don't know. But my feet are gonna get wet, which isn't good. We're gonna put this in the B tier, alright? Next, we have these like mountainous grasslands. Alright. We're gonna put the mountainous grasslands in the B tier. Alright? Not a lot of trees for shelter. Food. Yeah, there's birds and stuff. Maybe some like goats and stuff. I think food will be fine. There's clearly tons of water. Water will be fine. But trying to traverse this and get out of these mountains might be hard. So for that reason, we're putting it in the B tier. Next, we have like this colorful tundra. Alright? We're going to put this in the C tier. Alright? There's plants. Not a lot of trees, but there's plants. I bet there's berries. Alright? And there might be goats and stuff. There's plenty of water. Plenty of water. Yeah, not a lot of shelter or anything though. So for that reason, C tier. Alright, next we have like a Mediterranean forest. We're gonna put the Mediterranean forest in the A tier. Alright? We have rocks and shelter and trees and water. And we have plenty of animals and not a lot of hostility. Actually, we're going to put it in the S tier. Alright, there's not a lot. We can just fish and stuff. Maybe a couple bears, but that's pushing it. Maybe a couple snakes, but we can get around that. Alright, next we have a mangrove swamp. Yeah, we're going to put the mangrove swamp in the D tier. There's crocs, there's tons of bad stuff that'll just sneak up on me from this area. There's plenty of wood for shelter, but the hostility, also this water is probably not safe for drinking, so that's another thing. So food, not a lot. Maybe some frogs, but maybe the crocs eat all the frogs. So yeah, I could definitely try and get out of here, but not looking too great. Alright, next we have these like badlands. Alright, let's say I'm at like the top of one of these. It's wraps. Alright, I don't know how I'm gonna get down, and if I do, it's gonna take a while. Alright, there's barely any shrubs and stuff in this part over here. Now, if I manage to get down to like a valley and stuff, it might be a C tier, but it's gonna be tough to get there. Maybe some vultures try and pick me off. It's just not looking good. So for that reason, F tier. Also, water. There's no water here. There might be a little rain, but rain's not looking likely. Alright. So yeah, F tier. Next, we have the Outback. Alright? Tons of hostile animals, not great water. I might be able to find some food. Not a lot of shelter. F tier. Alright? Now, I mean, I might be able to befriend like some koalas or something that could give me the lay of the land, but other than that, I'm probably cooked. We got koalas. Oh, we got kangaroos. We got like the biggest spiders you've ever seen. We got scorpions, snakes. It's over. The only way out is to just follow one of those long roads through here. Maybe find like the Outback map from Siege. But other than that, it's over. Alright, next we have the Arctic. The Arctic is going to be D tier. It's going to be extremely cold, and there's polar bears. But there's plenty of water. I can just lick some ice. Food, I can fish. Shelter, I can just dig down in the snow and make like an igloo and stuff. So, it's going to be cold, but honestly, if I work hard enough, we can skin a polar bear. It's wraps for the polar bears. And we can get some fur to wear and everything. But yeah, once again, plenty of water and everything. So yeah, for that reason, we're putting the Arctic in the D tier. C tier. Alright? Alright, now we got the mountains and stuff. Let's say I land at the top of the mountain. That's a D tier. Alright? No food. No vegetation. Water? Yeah, snow and stuff. How am I going to get down? That's going to take a while. Alright? If I get down, my odds might be a little better. There might be some vegetation and food. But I'm probably going to die. It's extremely cold. There's no shelter. It's wraps for me at the top of the mountain. Yeah. Alright, next we have a xeric basin. One of the most common biomes. Like, you know, you go like on vacation, you're like, I can't wait to visit the xeric basin. Okay? So survivability, look, there's wood. It doesn't look extremely hard of wood. It looks pretty dry. We could get that easily. Make some shelter. There's probably food. There's water. Alright? Think of the one map, Valguero from Ark. Alright? It's kind of like that. Alright? There's probably food and water. It's very scenic, you know? So, we're going to put the xeric basin in the A tier. Alright? Alright. Finally, we come to the ocean. If my plane crash lands into the ocean, there is no hope. Okay? But, hear me out. Let's say the plane sinks, but we have one of those lifeboats that sometimes planes like deploy. Alright? So I'm on one of these lifeboats. I could probably find like some trash. You know, let's say I end up in the great like garbage patch, if that's even real. I'm loaded. Alright? We get like string and like a plastic. We get a fishing rod. Alright? Or honestly, hiking, I just swim down and get some fish. The only thing I'd have to worry about is like sharks and like stingrays and eels and stuff. But, I mean, you know. Alright, we're going to put it in the B tier. Nah. C tier. C tier. Because we'll have to wait for it to rain to get water, and I would not have a very good way of collecting the water and stuff. So, yeah. Alright. There's our list of biomes ranked. Alright? I have a poll on my channel for what you guys want me to rank next. We have fruits, or we have, like, eras of history, you know, like the Bronze Age and stuff. So yeah, comment or do that poll of what you want to see next, and remember, subscribe so I can get a new mic and possibly a new webcam so that you guys can, and maybe so I put more effort into these videos. But honestly, this video is a banger, and make sure you watch my other video. We ranked every president. All right, we ranked every president, and it was a solid video. All right, so stay tuned.